be a world champion boxer and get scary, and her scary hung up as soon as she heard my voice. Now I'm telling everything. Oh, and baby girl, you're not the only one.
On December 11, 2023, in a shocking Instagram revelation, well-known musician and TV personality Remy Ma claimed that her husband Papoose had an affair with world boxing champion Claressa Shields. The public accusations, shocking assertions, and Instagram postings that followed pushed both fans and followers into a frenzy. The Remy's, her choice to publicly air her complaints caused the drama to dramatically escalate, with accusations bouncing back and forth between the women, exposing a turbulent love triangle and leaving the public doubting the integrity of all parties involved. Claressa Shields, a 29-year-old Olympic gold medalist and professional boxer, posted on. Raw emotion and harsh comments flooded Instagram as she shared personal information intended to demonstrate Papoose's adultery. The woman clarified that Papoose had fallen asleep during a phone call with Claressa while he was in her residence. Remy said that she had seen Papoose dozing off in my home while conversing with Claressa and felt duped by everything, which heightened the intensity of the scenario. Remy claimed that as soon as Claressa discovered she was on the line, she hung up right away, supporting her claims. Remy also posted a number of images of text messages she claimed were exchanged between Claressa and Papoose on Instagram. "Accuse yourself. It's not true," was one of the messages read. "Too much to ask that you let me know if you get it home safely or if you nod off in the Sprinter." Remy implied that this exchange strengthened her suspicions of an affair and charged that both Claressa and Papoose were fabricating stories to harm her reputation. Remy looked to be particularly frustrated with Papoose and the state of affairs, as seen by her passionate outburst. Handled, especially his insistence that the best course of action was to remain silent, she continued, adding that even though she begged him to stop repeating, the accusations continued after he declined to comment on the narrative, choosing instead to remain silent about everything. Remy kept feeling as though her dignity was in jeopardy, which made her public complaints. She said in another Instagram post that Claressa and her PR staff had been deliberately circulating lies against her to destroy her reputation and paint Papoose as the saint. Remy was clearly frustrated and criticized both Claressa and Puss for their behavior. She even went so far as to proclaim, "I'm done because you're ugly," was a scathing comment directed at Claressa's relationship with her husband. Among the other details Remy gave were screenshots of the text between Claressa and Papoose, which seemed to demonstrate the boxer's anxiety over the escalating public issue. One text in particular showed Claressa informing Papoose that if the Claressa was seen saying in another message that if anything sexual about me leaked, it was him, implying Papoose. This seemed to imply that Papoose might have tried to control the public narrative while concealing his true intentions in the midst of this scandal, since it could be disastrous for both of them. One to remain quiet, Remy did not back down despite the boxer's prompt response to the charges, as she proceeded to upload damning evidence, including new screenshots purporting to show pro-Papa's infidelity with other women, further complicating the matter. In an effort to spread awareness of Papa's behavior, Remy even asserted that Papoose had been attempting to ruin me behind my back while feigning to be a caring, loving husband in public. Remy's determination to expose Papoose and Claressa's alleged involvement was evident in her assurance that she had proof of everything. She denied any romantic involvement with Papoose on her own social media accounts. Media channels to respond to Remy's allegations, but her response focused more on shifting the narrative away from the controversy than on defending her name. Claressa appeared to steer clear of confronting the accusations directly and instead attempted to refocus the discussion on other topics, such as her position on the smear campaign that Remy had mentioned in one of her Instagram posts. Claressa basically challenged Remy to face her in the boxing ring rather than on social media in order to resolve the conflict. She advised Remy to take the matter to the gym and work it out like a real fighter. This surprising response surprised many fans because it appeared to indicate that Claressa was more focused on her career and avoiding more conflict. Rather than a verbal battle in public, Clarissa's comment about meeting in the boxing ring was probably meant to diffuse the situation, and for some, it served as a reminder that she was a professional boxer and not someone who should get involved in small-time drama. As a result, Remy's fans and followers were left perplexed and unsure of who was telling the truth. In contrast to Clarissa, the boxing champion, who denied the accusations and even tried to refocus attention on the harm the scandal could do to her own reputation, Remy, the wife, who claimed to have evidence and was determined to defend herself, left fans with more questions than answers, and many started to question if the truth would ever come to light as the narrative progressed. The final nail in the coffin of the affair rumors seemed to be Remy's last Instagram post, in which she provided more screenshots and pictures that she claimed she also accused Papo of trying to destroy her reputation and profession by having these alleged affairs, and Remy pledged to stick up for her, protect herself, and stand her own against what she saw as an unfair betrayal. The situation became more heated every day as Clarissa insisted that she had nothing to do with Papoose's conduct. The SAA involving Remy Ma, Papoose, and Clarissa Shields was full of drama and startling accusations, and it was uncertain how things would ultimately be resolved. Can the marriage of Papa survive this public scandal, or was it the public was left to speculate and watch as the drama played out in real time across social media? Mark the start of an IR ribble break. Would Clarissa Shields continue to deny her involvement, or would more information come to light in the future? Only time would tell how this dramatic love triangle would end. Media as the conflict between Clarissa Shields and Remy Ma Papo intensified, adding yet another level of complexity to the already complex scenario. This revelation only helped to heighten the controversy around Clarissa Shields, who was at a pivotal point in her life when Remy, Massachusetts, brought up the news that a movie about her life was scheduled to be published. Period in her career, and the accusations' timing was troublesome. In contrast, Papo did not want his reputation to be damaged in the public eye, so he took matters into his own hands and flipped the story by accusing Remy in his own Instagram story. She obviously did not want the accusations circling her to overshadow her high-profile on-screen debut. After regularly cheating on him, he accused Massachusetts of being a narcissist and said that now that he had moved on, Remy was attempting to play the victim. Despite his repeated demands for a divorce, Papo stated that Remy had refused to relent, choosing instead to utilize social media to sway public opinion. Papoose clarified that he had kept quiet for their sake, 6-year-old daughter, but now he felt compelled to speak up. He added that as the public watched this turbulent situation, it was evident that the drama was far from over, with each new post adding more fuel to the fire, with Remy and Papa trading accusations of cheating, physical altercations, and emotional manipulation. Events that transpired, Papoose criticized Remy for allegedly fabricating old text messages in an effort to create a false narrative, raising the question of whether this messy love triangle would be resolved or if it was the start of a deeper conflict. He could no longer remain silent about Remy's actions, accusing her of lying and manipulating the narrative. He said that by disseminating these lies to support his claims, Remy was justifying her own infidelity. When Papo posted a photo from Christmas the year before that showed Remy hugging another rapper, he implied that Remy was with someone else while he was at home with their daughter. He also accused her of being angry that he had moved on and detailed her actions. As conceded, he even referenced a physical altercation with a man who had gotten too close to Remy, saying, "I didn't knock him out because he slept with my wife. He shook my hand, slept with her, and then slept with his ex-wife. So I knocked him out on June 17, 2023. This added even more tension to the already tense situation. Circumstances, the dispute took a new turn in 2023 when, according to a caller on the Star Report, Papoose allegedly got into a fight with a member of the DB Block crew who had apparently gotten too close to Remy. Before mayhem broke out at the event, and there were complaints of disturbance, Papo struck at Easy and knocked him unconscious. Remy denied that an altercation had occurred. After brushing the incident aside, she later expressed regret to the crowd, stating that they were unable to finish the event. However, Papoose's post about the conflict fueled the flames, rekindling the controversy between him and Remy. Remy in retaliation said that Papoose had groped her, and she shared a thorough narrative on Instagram, saying that he had. During renovations, she was attacked in their garage. She even implied that workers had contacted the police as a result of the event. A video and audio recording that Remy included in her article were, she said, accurate representations of what had happened. Since there had never been any prior reports of such instances, the latest accusation shocked followers. Claressa protects Olympic gold. Medalist and world champion boxer didn't remain quiet for long. She came out with her own remarks on Instagram, attacking Remy Ma with a sense of humor to refute the charges and labeling her insane. Consider a lady who has 2 boyfriends and is furious about a man who has a girlfriend. Claressa made this blunt statement after Remy tagged her in a post. Claressa publicly criticized Remy for fabricating texts and harassing her, accusing the rapper of making a fool of herself. She made it clear that she would not tolerate Remy's attacks, and the conflict swiftly escalated to a breaking point when she became tired of the drama and proposed a boxing match. Contrast with Remy, Claressa boldly challenged Remy to a fight on Instagram on February 2nd, writing, "Come get your exploitative whooped." This challenge went viral on social media, and fans were anxious to see if Remy would accept. Some people thought it was a publicity stunt. Massachusetts decided to settle their differences on Instagram, while some people thought that the boxer was very serious about putting their differences aside in the ring. Claressa clarified in an interview with Jim Hill that she wasn't kidding, explaining that she was willing to face Remy and was sure she could win, even though fans might have assumed she was serious about the challenge. Meanwhile, the response from Remy, Massachusetts to, in a swift and straightforward challenge, Claressa turned to Instagram to address some of the accusations made against her. Remy responded to reports that she had 2 boyfriends by categorically refuting them. "I have always been a lady with only one partner," she remarked, stressing that she wasn't with more than one person as was implied. Rema also tried her hand at Papo, asserting that someone who thought they were the prize would never buy her anything. She made it apparent that she was financially successful and that any accusations that she was financially dependent on people were untrue. She also stated, "I have the bag, so stop tampering with me," and that she was a good woman with only one husband. Remy accepted that. Although Papoose was furious, she emphasized that she was not the enemy, despite his attempts to paint her as such. Remy's statements were blunt and incisive, and it was evident that the audience was split on who was right and who was wrong. Fans were debating the veracity of the charges made by both parties, with many questioning if Claressa Shields was actually associated with Papoose or, regardless of whether this was all part of a bigger drama the 2 were creating. It was evident that Remy and Papoose had been using social media as a platform to fight their personal problems, drawing their fans into their continuous feud. Whether on purpose or not, the couple's turbulent relationship was being broadcast to the world, leaving very little to the imagination. Even though Papo and Claressa Shields did not specifically deny the affair, the couple and the boxers appeared to be making every effort to divert attention away from the alleged infidelity. Papa's accusations of emotional manipulation, infidelity, and gambling addiction against Remy appeared to be a detour from the initial charges against him, though it may have appeared as an attempt to lighten the mood. Claressa's challenge to face Remy in the ring also implied that the dispute had escalated to the point where winning the public battle was more important than clearing the air. As the situation develops, the public is left to wonder what the real dynamics of the relationships between fans of Remy, Papoose, and Claressa are excited to watch how this drama plays out in the end, but it's clear that this love triangle is far from being resolved. The back and forth, public insults, and sensational challenges have created a spectacle that will probably continue to hold the public's attention for some time to come. One thing is certain though, the outcome of this complex web The next episode in this intense story is eagerly anticipated by fans as accusations, denials, and challenges remain in the air.